FM.
Gabriel and John, you make sure you get everything looking good around here. Make sure the dog got water, make sure the pig got food, and make sure the chicken got...
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thursday's edition of The Link continues here. It is about 9 minutes after the hour of 9 as we head into the 10 o'clock hour. Good people in our community doing good things to take care of each and every one. And Guam's foster community is certainly very, very valued. It's people that give of their time, of their resources, of their heart, and obviously of their home. And to help this very necessary part of our community, our friends over at APL and Harvest House are putting together a donation drive so that you may help people that take up a calling, I would say. Like it's never a job. It's never just, something you do just to, make yourself look good or, tweet about it and everything like that. If you are a foster family, you are really doing the Lord's work. So thank you, each and every one of you who are foster families. Bethany Taylor is in the KUM News Zoom room, of course, the executive director of Harvest House. Bethany, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're always welcome here on the show. And then from APL, of course, the corporate partner that is making this happen. The event is going to be this Saturday from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at Cost You Less into Mooning. Our very good friend, Carl Pangolin, someone who I've known for a very, very long time, since the 7th grade, and I would dare say he has the sweetest swing on the fairway of anybody in the class of 1992. So, Carl, good to see you, brother.
Wow, what an intro. Appreciate it. Good morning. Thank you, Jason.
It's nice to know that the humility between us hasn't changed since middle school, has it?
After all these decades, huh?
Well, one thing that certainly hasn't changed about either of you, I would say, is your genuine love for Guam and wanting to take care of the community. And Bethany, I'd like to start with you, if I may, ladies first, if you don't mind. The foster community on Guam, it's something we brought up on the show so many times during the pandemic. It's we need more of them. What do we do with children who are in foster situations and everything like that? And certainly this donation drive is going to help those families that do make the choice to become foster families.
Very much so. Thank you. Yes, Harvest House is a nonprofit to the foster community on Guam. So we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, to answer the call to help foster families. We have 50 licensed foster families right now on Guam. The number is rising. We always need more. We have foster children, 500 foster children in the system today, and they literally sit in our waiting room waiting for placement. So we are the emergency triage center for foster children. We're on the front lines. Harvest House is the first one CPS will call to either help facilitate placement for these children, to help collaborate with them, because we do a lot of recruiting for our foster families. But the most important thing we do is we take in these children at their very hardest moment of life, when everything is taken from them, and they sit here in our waiting room and they get a clean shower, they get clean clothes, they get all the essentials they would need. And then we collaborate as a team on the best placement for these kids. So it's just really a beautiful place. We had a little foster child the other day say, I said, "What do you think about Harvest House?" And he said, "It looks like heaven in here." So we want a little place of heaven for these kids versus them sitting at a police station for hours waiting to be, placed, or waiting at a CPS office at a desk. That's not a place for a child. So today we're just really grateful to APL to let us to collaborate, also to spread awareness of the foster needs on Guam, but also just having the community come alongside Harvest House and preparing some things that would benefit our foster children on Guam. Everybody can do something, right? So this is a great place to start.
That's such a beautiful way of saying a child felt like they were in heaven. And I would dare say, Carl, you and your team over at APL, you guys are the avenging angels to help make this mission on Saturday like a reality, to deliver that experience to these young children. These are our Guamanians too. These are our neighbors. These are our family members.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. And what, backtracking a little bit, and, I also want to give props to you fine folks there at KUAM. It was really the Care Force program that we looked at, at APL, just to kind of, what can we do to give back to the community? So we decided to do 3 separate events, 3 separate fundraise or donation drives. and partnered up with our, business partner at Cost You Less in identifying these organizations. It was really just the actual items that they needed to fulfill their mission. And so back in November, we helped a local veterans group here on Guam, and it was a highly successful donation drive. Just to kind of, lay or give you a sense of what will go on that day on Saturday, you show up to Cost You Less between those hours from 8 to 2. We'll have our team set up. Bethany and I believe Ashley, will take turns in covering some shifts. But, you walk in to buy whatever you're going to buy for your household or for whatever it is that you're there at Cost You Less for. Well, we have actual items that are, you can locate within Cost You Less that will go directly to benefit and to assist the mission over at Harvest House.
Okay.
And so we have a list of items. We're gonna, so you can either give money and we'll buy the items for you, or just hand it right over to the good folks at our Harvest House, or get these items directly, and we'll donate it to you. So if you're buying chicken and a bag of rice, and throw in some toilet paper or something like that Harvest House needs, and you just drop it off at our table, and we accept the donations there.
Now, Bethany, because when somebody is a foster family, and they're giving, these wonderful young Guamanians, these beautiful children, like a place to stay, and like you said, heaven, a place to call their own home, and a family that they can connect with and become a part of. It's not just feeding and clothing them and everything like that. I'm actually looking at the list right now, so it's not only food items. Obviously, that's very key, but also for perhaps the babies and the toddlers, like the toiletries and things like that, but also things for like maybe the home office to help these kids, be successful in school. So things like paper, pens, writing instruments, things like that. So can you kind of give us an idea of the scale of what's needed? Because there may be people that have these things at home and they would just like to contribute as well.
Yeah, very good point. We have posted it on social media on our Facebook page. About the Cost You Less event. We already had one person say, hey, I have some of these items, let me bring them by right now. So I was like, awesome, please do. So, but yes, just to talk a little bit about the items we asked for specifically, we have snack items listed, so that would benefit our foster children in those emergency crisis situations that we take in. We obviously want to feed these kids. They come hungry every time. So another thing that we do is we support our 50 licensed foster families on Guam. So throughout the year, we hold events for them. We also do, like, come Valentine's Day, we're going to do a little gift basket to every licensed foster family on Guam, just to let them know we support you, we care about you, we have a community of people that are coming alongside you just to help ease the load. So to put in some snack items, I have 7 kids myself, so believe me, they go through a lot of snacks. So to put in there some snacks for school will be a big help to them. The other thing are baby items. Right now, if you went to our resource center, you would go to the right where we have a shelving unit that's full of our diapers, our wipes, our bottles, and all the clothing. And you will see on our shelf that size 4, 5, and 6 diapers and pull-ups are practically empty. Some are empty and some have one more pack in them. And it's just that I wish I could tell you how many toddlers we have right now in the foster care system. I don't know, but I would guess about 100.
Oh my gosh.
And they need diapers all the time. So every single month we give diapers to our foster community just to help, again, ease the load of saying yes. So we would love to have those shelves, stocked, so that when foster families, I just yesterday had a foster mom say, hey, do you have any size 5 diapers? And I had 2 packs to give her. So I would love to make sure we had those essentials ready for our foster families just to help them. And then the hygiene products are super important. So every emergency crisis that comes to see us at Harvest House, we fill a hygiene bag for them. So they get a backpack. They get, they're not going to go away with it in a garbage bag. We give them dignity at Harvest House. And to get new items is a really big deal. They usually have never experienced anything like it. So they get a fresh new backpack. We fill it up with shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, the normal basic essentials, plus new underwear and any other new undergarments that they might need. Then we fill it with clothes and shoes. And then they're just like super excited. They put this backpack on their back and they're like, they already realize they have new beginnings ahead of them.
If I may add to that, Bethany, there was a similar charitable event that went on late last year that sought to gather new and used shoes for young children and everything. And they said, something as simple as footwear, does so much for a young person as far as, building their confidence, letting them know that, hey, like I'm part of a community, this is, even though it's, just something you slap on your feet. And, Carly even says here, socks and sandals, you give a kid a fresh pair of Zoris and everything like that. They really feel like they're part of the community, and this is going to let them be successful.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, most of our foster children have been going to school, and they're the ones that get reported to CPS. So they're the ones that every week a teacher has reported again to CPS, hey, the kids came with barely anything on, or the same clothes for a week they've been wearing, or they smell so horrid, they just have not ever had a shower for a long time. It's like report after report after report of just having no dignity, having a lack of self-esteem in the classroom, being made fun of, just having nobody feel like nobody's coming. I'm the kid here. Nobody in my family has actually cared for the basic necessities of my life. So we try to really, from this point on, their very first step into Harvest House, from that point on, it's a point of healing and a point of just taking care of them and just letting them feel like there are new hopes, new beginnings for me.
Absolutely. And Carl, I would say, and first of all, thank you for saying is how our company and yours have collaborated on these events and everything. It was the easiest negotiation that we ever did, because we just called you up and we're like, hey, we want to work on something, and you're like, all right, let's do it. So it was as simple as that. And I think this is emblematic of APL's concern for the community, and how it's not just a couple people from the marketing team, but like everybody there is in it to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't have to put much thought into who we wanted to assist. There's so many worthy organizations out there, and we really wish that we could help them all. But when we had to narrow it down, with this particular program, with the Care Force, and I was forced to choose three. We chose the Veterans Organization, we chose the foster families and the foster kids, and then next month, at some point, we're going to help the elderly. And so,
I love it.
Right on.
Yeah, and just listening to Bethany and Ashley, my daughters go to school at Harvest, and so I would pick them up before meeting with the two ladies, and just even my daughters and going into Harvest House, they are spoiled to the hilt, right, with everything, but just them walking in the Harvest House and see their faces light up, and my youngest actually has a classmate, I think, who's a foster child, and she's like, oh, I know so-and-so, and is this where they go, Daddy? And it's such a pleasant environment, it's such a great atmosphere, and Bethany, you guys really do the Lord's work over there, and God bless you for everything that you do. This is the easiest thing for us to assist.
Well, again, I can say, based on the number of years, the number of decades, I should say, that I know you. I know their dad's a big softie, so you've got a good house, and these are lessons that, of course, we want to make this a family event too. So bring the whole family. We're going to be socially distant. It's going to be a completely safe environment. But again, this Saturday at Cost You Less Than 2 Mooning, starting at 8 in the morning, and going all the way until 2. You got a lot of time when you can bring the family. And Carl, I'm sure you would agree, and Bethany, these are life lessons that we pass down to the next generation, and say, there might not be people in the same situation as you, and it is endemic on you. This is a perfect way to introduce young ones to the concept of Inafa Malik. We take care of our neighbors here on the island. Mm-hmm. This is what we do.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said, Jason.
Okay, so
I also want to just thank our partners as well. The two of you have just been such a blessing. I mean, when Carl walked in, it is really cool that you can walk into our facility and you don't need too much words to be impacted. You're immediately impacted by what we do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time to do a tour at our facility. I appreciate your time, Jason, to get the word out to the community. Who knows how far this will go in our efforts. It may be toilet paper, it may be snacks for foster kids, but it also might be somebody coming by our table at Costa saying, hey, I've always thought about fostering. How do I become a foster parent? We have staff there from 8 to 2. We'll walk you through the process.
Absolutely. Well, I would like Bethany to kind of like kind of draw upon like what the mayors did. Like the mayor's council. They said when they had their I believe they started at the end of last year, but they said their campaign to help foster families is the theme was the gift of family. And I mean, when you think about it, is there any better gift that you can give, like to a loving young person?
There really isn't. I would agree with you. The gift of family is the sweetest gift you can give a child, especially a child that has never experienced what family really is all about. Love and care and get you the right education and be there for you all the time. These children literally are defined by abuse, abandonment, and neglect. Those 3 words should never be tagged along to a child's name. And that's the reality of what these children are facing. Every story that we hear, every CPS call we get, it gives you chills, it makes you cry, it makes you realize the reality of our neighborhood kids are in the backyard that are struggling from being victims of abuse, abandonment, and neglect, and no child should ever be of harm in that situation. And we're just so grateful for the 50 licensed foster families that have come forward. We're so thankful for every relative that never expects to become a foster parent, but that takes in their relatives' kids. We're so thankful for even the shelters on Guam. We need them because they help us with the emergency situation. So every little bit helps, but if you are here listening thinking, hey, I could offer a home, greatest gift you could give a child in their deepest need of trauma is giving them a family and a home.
All right, thank you. Beautifully said. Ladies and gentlemen watching right now, members of the Link family, if this interview did not touch your heart, and hopefully your tear ducts, because I know it did for me, Bethany Carr beautifully said it and everything. So we'll see you guys 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cost You Less in Tamuning. Carl's got like a whole shopping list set up for you guys. All you got to do is go there, open your heart in some fashion, everything like that. You are directly going to benefit the lives of these wonderful young neighbors of ours. So Bethany, thank you and your team at Harvest House, and Carl, always a pleasure. And shout out to you guys at APL, man. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, take
Thanks,
care, you guys.
Bethany.
Stay safe. All right, and the link will continue. Please stay tuned because we are back right after this. We'll see you then.
We want to see your football fan love in time for Valentine's Day and the big game on February